We're standing at the crossroads of two absolutely massive revolutions. On one hand, you've got the dawn of practical quantum computing. And on the other, the rise of these decentralized, community owned organizations. When you bring these two together, wow, you don't just get a new piece of tech, you get a whole new way to solve humanity's biggest, gnarliest problems. And today, we're going to look at the blueprint for that future. So, not long ago, a quantum processor did something that, well, it sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. It solved a problem that would take our most powerful supercomputer, the ones that fill entire buildings, longer than the age of the universe to figure out. Just let that sink in for a minute. The entire lifetime of the universe. And the quantum processor? It did it in 5 minutes. This is not just a faster computer. It's a completely different way of seeing and interacting with reality itself. A total game changer.
This moment is what people call quantum advantage. It's that tipping point where a quantum computer just leaves a classical computer in the dust on certain problems. And guess what? It's not some far-off dream anymore. It's here. The power to simulate the universe from the ground up is coming online. And with that kind of power comes a pretty heavy dose of responsibility. I mean, think about it. The power to simulate reality is pretty darn close to the power to reshape it. And if we just let things run their course, this incredible technology is going to end up locked away, controlled by just a handful of people. And that leads to a really critical question we all have to ask right now. So, why can't the organizations we have today build this future? Why are the very giants that got us here, the huge corporations, the massive government agencies, why are they fundamentally the wrong tools for the job when it comes to building an open, collaborative quantum future?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. The blueprints we've been using to build our organizations, they're for a totally different era. These top-down, closed-off, profit-at-all-costs models from the 20th century, they are completely, utterly broken for the quantum age. Right now, we're basically caught between two bad options. On one side, you've got the corporate cage. It's all about next quarter's profits, hoarding intellectual property, and that just suffocates any truly disruptive ideas. On the other side, governmental gridlock. It's slow, it's bureaucratic, and it turns scientific progress into a high-stakes arms race. Neither of those paths is gonna get us where we need to go. And this table here really lays out the massive shift we're talking about. We're going from a rigid pyramid structure to a fluid, decentralized network. The goal isn't just to make money for shareholders. It's to maximize the health of the entire network and the impact of its mission. And this is huge. Knowledge isn't hoarded anymore. It's shared. It's open source. It's a fundamentally different way of thinking about how we innovate together. Okay, so if the old ways are broken, what do we build to replace them? Well, that's where this idea of a quantum network organization, or QNO, comes into play. It's a new model designed from the ground up for the quantum age. So what is it? A QNO is an organization that's actually owned and controlled by the people contributing to it. For community members, that means you have real skin in the game, real ownership. And for investors, this means you have a community that is deeply, personally aligned with the mission's success. The whole thing is driven by a shared purpose, not just the vision of a tiny founding team. The best way to think about a QNO isn't as a machine. It's much more like a living thing. Think of a mycelial network, that incredible vast web of fungus connecting an entire forest. It's decentralized, it's incredibly resilient, and it works to make the whole ecosystem healthier. It's a living, learning system. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? Because for community members who want to join, and for investors who want to back this, the nuts and bolts are what really matter. This isn't built on just good intentions. It's built on code. The rules of the network are literally baked into its DNA. And here are the three core principles. And these aren't just fluffy values on a poster. They are rules enforced by software. First, transparency. The system's operations are totally public, but individual privacy is always protected. Second, meritocracy. Your influence and ownership are earned by what you contribute. You can't just buy your way to the top. And third, alignment. The whole system is designed so that what's good for you as an individual is also what's good for the entire network. The economic engine behind this is a fair launch philosophy. The core idea is simple but powerful. Ownership should be earned, not bought. Instead of VCs and founders getting a huge slice of the pie before anything's even been built, the vast majority of ownership goes to the people actually doing the work over time. For investors, this is key. It creates an incredibly committed and motivated community, which is the most valuable asset any project can have. And here's what that looks like in real terms. Check out this allocation. A massive 50%, half of the entire network, goes into a community-governed treasury. That's the fuel tank that can fund development for decades, making the network sustainable without having to constantly chase outside money. The community quite literally controls its own destiny.
So we have this powerful new way of organizing. What can we actually build with it? Let's get to the exciting part and look at the kind of real-world problems this model can help us tackle.
Let's start with medicine. Imagine a global network of scientists collaborating to design new drugs, atom by atom. They could use quantum simulations to crack mysteries like protein folding, which is a huge step toward curing diseases like Alzheimer's. And instead of patenting every discovery, they'd contribute to a massive open-source library of biological data for everyone to use. Or what about clean energy? A QNO could focus on designing new materials for hyper-efficient solar panels, or discovering the perfect catalyst to make clean hydrogen energy affordable for everyone. We could literally reinvent huge swaths of industrial chemistry that currently gobble up a massive chunk of the world's energy. These are planetary-scale problems, and you need a planetary-scale organization to solve them. And maybe the most ambitious vision of all, building a digital twin of the Earth, a full-scale quantum simulation of our planet's climate and ecosystems. This would allow us to get incredibly precise climate models and, get this, test out massive solutions in the simulation before we try them in the real world. A project that big requires a level of global trust that only a truly open, transparent network can earn. So, what it all boils down to is this: the technology and the organization have to evolve hand in hand. You can't stick a revolutionary quantum engine inside the rusty, broken-down frame of a 20th century corporation and expect it to work. To truly unlock the potential of this new technology, we need an equally revolutionary way of working together. Look, the quantum revolution is here. The network revolution is here. They're converging, and they're giving us a new blueprint for innovation, a new way to organize ourselves to solve problems that we used to think were impossible. The time to build that future is right now. The only real question is, are you ready?